So I plan to spend my year abroad in Moscow at Moscow State University, and I submitted my application on the 23rd of February 2022, and then on the 24th of February the full-scale invasion started. So that was no longer possible, and then over the next couple of months it became clear that there was an option to go to Tbilisi in Georgia to study at the formal language school there. So I decided that I would do that, and that would be a good option for me. I really loved studying in Georgia. I really had a fantastic time living there.
I think Tbilisi is just an incredible city. There's so much going on. It's just a beautiful city. I think I chose Tbilisi out of all the options because I Googled it and it just looked incredible.
So there was a big emphasis on not just doing Russian language, but also about looking at local history, looking at local initiatives. So we had a lot of guest talks from Georgian speakers.
Bishkek was very interesting because it feels a very young city. It was only founded in the 19th century, but the city that we see today is younger still. As soon as I got to Bishkek, where I was working, I found a Kyrgyz tutor to teach me Kyrgyz, to respect the bilingual nature of the country and also to deepen my understanding.
In terms of having to try to find Russian opportunities, I never felt like I had to make that effort. It almost sort of just happened to me by virtue of being in a place where there are so many Russian speakers.
It varies throughout Kazakhstan, but Astana is a completely bilingual city, and I would say at the moment, this could change, but there is a tendency towards Russian.
I had a really fantastic time in Tallinn. Tallinn is a lovely, lovely city. It was, well, the most exposure to the Russian language I'd ever had before in my life.
I learned how to snowboard because there's ski slopes, like mini ski resorts near to Bishkek.
I actually went with a group of friends from work. We went horse riding. We did a really lovely trek at sunset. I learned that Yerevan is older than Rome, so there's loads of kind of historical treasures there.
It's such a good country for travel. There's a place called Batumi which has this amazing tropical botanical gardens, and it's by the sea.
It's a Muslim country, so opposite my flat there was an amazing mosque, and I learned more about that side of the culture, and we also had Kazakh New Year in March. I saw these kind of amazing street parties and concerts, and yeah, just incredible, and that's not something I would ever have learned about in other parts of the world, so I'm so glad I experienced that.
Being there at Christmas in the wintertime was really lovely, seeing how Christmas and generally winter festivals are celebrated. I think is always a really nice thing to see in other cultures, so that was really lovely.
I think that's the other invaluable thing about the year abroad, is that you can have, you know, by making friends and by speaking to people, you gain a network of people all over the world who you can speak to and rely on.
So this is my final year of undergrad in Cambridge, but I'm studying, one of my papers is the post-Soviet Russian-speaking world, and I'm definitely keen to bring in elements of Central Asian history and culture that I learned about while I was in the region. And I also study Ukraine, so I think that makes for a really interesting comparison. So it's, not just Russia focused.
Of course, Kyrgyzstan will always have a special place in my heart.
I was talking to someone yesterday actually, and they said, if you go to Georgia, there's no way that you will only go to Georgia once, because you will have to go back. And I think that's totally true.
It doesn't feel like I've learned something new. It feels like it's the start of a whole new world of knowing and learning.
It changes something within you in a really positive way.